the shadowed corners of our world, where the line between obsession and fear is razor thin, stories unfold that chill the bones and haunt the mind long after the lights have gone out. Tonight, from the depths of real life and whispered legend, we bring you 3 horrifying true Stalker-Ex horror stories. Listen closely, for these tales are not mere fiction. They are accounts of terror, recounting the twisted aftermath of broken relationships and the relentless pursuit of those who wished only to move on. Our first story begins in a quiet suburb where the ordinary masks the extraordinary, a place where neighbors greet each other with forced smiles and secrets linger behind closed doors. Mia had ended her relationship with Alex after months of turmoil. The arguments had grown louder, the trust had withered, and the sense of safety she once felt had become a distant memory. When she finally cut ties, changing her number and blocking him on every platform, she believed she could reclaim her peace. But the nightmare was just beginning. Days after the breakup, Mia noticed strange things. Her porch light flickering inexplicably, footprints in the dew-soaked grass beneath her window. At first, she dismissed them. The mind can play tricks, especially when fear is fresh. But then came the phone calls. No number displayed, just silence on the other end, or a faint, heavy breathing. She called the police, but without evidence. Their hands were tied. One night, as rain pounded the windows and thunder echoed through her empty house, Mia woke to a tapping sound. It was subtle, persistent, coming from the backyard. Gripping her phone, she crept to the window and peered through the blinds. There, illuminated by a flash of lightning, was Alex, his face twisted in anger, eyes wild, staring directly at her. He held something in his hand, something sharp that caught the light. Mia's heart raced as she dialed 911, whispering her address. By the time the police arrived, Alex had vanished, leaving only muddy footprints and a threatening message carved into the wooden fence. "You can't hide." The stalking continued for weeks. Alex sent cryptic letters, left gifts at her doorstep, a wilted bouquet, a broken picture frame with their photo smashed inside. Mia moved in with relatives, changed jobs, and altered her routines. But every time she thought she was free, a new sign would appear. In the end, it was a neighbor's security camera that caught Alex prowling in the shadows, his face obscured by a hood, eyes burning with obsession. The footage led to his arrest, but for Mia, the scars would never fully heal. Every creak in the night, every unexpected knock at the door, reminded her that some nightmares leave marks far deeper than flesh. Our second story drifts into the world of urban legend, a tale whispered among college students, passed around dorm rooms like a warning. The legend of the X at the window began at a small university, where a student named Jamie found herself trapped in a relationship with someone she once trusted. His name was Tyler, and at first, he was charming, attentive, and endlessly devoted. But as the months wore on, Tyler's affection soured into possessiveness. He demanded to know where Jamie was at all times, checked her phone, and grew angry whenever she spoke to other men. Jamie broke it off, hoping that Tyler would move on. Instead, he became the ghost lingering in the background of her life. Late at night, she would catch glimpses of a figure outside her dorm window, a face watching from the darkness, eyes glinting with a feverish intensity. Her friends dismissed her worries, claiming it was just stress, but Jamie felt a growing sense of unease. One evening, as she studied alone in her room, she heard a tapping at the glass, She turned, heart pounding, and saw Tyler's face pressed against the window, his breath fogging the pain. He mouthed words she couldn't hear, fists clenched, rage boiling beneath his skin. Jamie screamed, alerting her roommate and the resident advisor. When they rushed to the room, Tyler was gone, leaving only smeared fingerprints and a chilling sense of violation. The incidents escalated. Jamie found her belongings tampered with, received threatening emails from anonymous accounts, and once discovered her pet cat locked in her closet, terrified and shivering. Tyler seemed to know every detail of her day-to-day life, as if he watched her from the shadows, waiting for a moment to strike. One night, Jamie awoke to find herself unable to breathe. A heavy weight pressed against her chest, and for a moment, she couldn't move. As her vision sharpened, she realized Tyler was in her room, crouched beside her bed, hands hovering inches from her throat. She screamed, scrambling for her phone, and Tyler fled into the night. The police launched an investigation, uncovering a web of surveillance, hidden cameras, GPS trackers, and meticulously kept notebooks detailing Jamie's every movement. Tyler was arrested, but the urban legend endured. To this day, students warn each other, if you see a face at the window, don't ignore it. Lock your doors, trust your instincts, and remember that some obsessions are more persistent and dangerous than you could ever imagine. Our final story unearths a chilling account from the archives of dark folklore, a tale that blurs the lines between reality and nightmare. In a remote town nestled in the folds of misty hills, there lived a woman named Eliza. Her relationship with Daniel had been tumultuous, marked by passion and fury, love and hate. When she ended things, she believed she could start anew, leaving behind the chaos for a quieter life. But Daniel was not ready to let go. He haunted her days and nights, appearing in places he shouldn't have known. Her new workplace, her favorite cafe, even the secluded hiking trail she visited to clear her mind. Eliza changed her routines, blocked his number, and told her friends. But the sightings continued. Daniel seemed to slip through the cracks of reality itself, always just out of reach, always watching. One rainy night, Eliza returned home to find her front door ajar. She hesitated, fear rooting her to the spot. Before stepping inside, the house was silent, but something felt wrong. As she moved from room to room, she found a single rose laid upon her bed, petals dripping with water, and a note scrawled in messy handwriting. "I will always find you." Eliza called the police, but no fingerprints were found. The rose had been cut from her own garden, the note written on paper from her own desk. Days later, she discovered footprints leading from her bedroom window to the woods behind her house. Prints too large for Daniel, almost monstrous in size. The townsfolk began to whisper, recalling the legend of the Shadow Stalker, a spirit said to possess those consumed by obsession, granting them unnatural power to torment the ones they once loved. As the weeks passed, Eliza's sense of reality began to fray. She heard footsteps in the attic, saw shapes moving in the mist, and felt eyes upon her wherever she went. Her friends grew concerned, urging her to leave town, but Eliza was determined to reclaim her life. She set traps, installed cameras, and kept a knife by her bedside. One night, as the wind howled outside and shadows danced across her walls, to the sound of her bedroom door creaking open, she sat up, clutching the knife, heart pounding in her chest. A figure stood in the doorway, taller than Daniel, cloaked in darkness. Its eyes glowed with a sickly yellow light, and its feet,